Chelsea showed absolute mercy to Spurs in that game. How that did not end about 5-0, I don't know. No shooting boots. Did they show pity? And really and truly, or did they just little bro these lot? Because Spurs are a joke. And they've always have been a joke. They've never been a serious team. I've been saying this all the time. It doesn't matter how good Spurs are and how crap Chelsea may be. Chelsea will always put them in their place. But let me try put you guys in your place so you can put me in mine. Smash the likes. Subscribe if you're brand new. I'm going to do a little bit of a Chelsea breakdown of my thoughts. I'm a United fan, yeah? I'm a mutual, kind of. You know, I don't look at Chelsea as my rival. I like you guys. But look, first things first. To the ones that wanted Maresca out, and still do, you confuse me. You really do. For a team that's suffering with many different injuries in key positions, running Gusto, James, and many others in positions that are they're not familiar with, it should tell you the whole story, right? You're sitting in joint points with Sunderland, Man United, and now Tottenham. It's not really the worst place to be, considering you lot know that you're not winning the league. And the tactics today from Maresca, I mean, were spot on. You utilized every little bit of technical ability and positional IQ of awareness and whatnot of players that you have at your disposal to the advantages. And Caicedo, oh my goodness gracious me. I've got a few things to say about a few of these players that some still surprise me today, right? But I have to start with this guy, yeah? And I'm going to say this nice and clear and loud, innit? This is just the overall general thing that I believe of this man, yeah? This man is the best midfielder in the Premier League by a country mile. Now, put your bias to a side if you're a rival, man. Rodri's been out for a minute, so don't put his name in the books. Don't say Zubimendi, he's just got here. But ones that want to write up Declan Rice, even though these two are very different in my eyes, if you have to put two of them together, Caicedo just shines totally more. He just adds so much more to a game than what, in my opinion, than Rice. Oh, don't compare them two then. No, because I see it everywhere, and I think it's just ridiculous. I'm not saying Rice can't run the game against Tottenham. I'm not saying he hasn't done it before, but Caicedo just does this on a regular basis. This man is serious food. What does that man not have in his locker? Honestly, best pickup, even though he cost what he cost. When you look at him, you just feel like your weight in gold is so true to his value. It's mental. I think he's so good. Today, he ran the show. Palhinha up of Bergvall before he came off. You know, you're talking about Xavi Simons. Was he even playing? You know, I can't even remember who was playing next to flipping Palhinha as well. Bentancur, there we go. There's debates if he should got sent off or not. Could not get close to this man. He ran the whole game. Enzo, thanks to him, Enzo Fernandez could play a lot higher up. A lot higher up. I'm seeing Reece James giving a little bit of, even Reece James getting further up. Let's have it right. You know, Malagusta, Caicedo's ran everything he needed to. He was the guy, it's like Spider-Man. I think it was #1 when he's holding the train with the webs. Do you know what I mean? He's the glue. He's the webs. He's keeping everything together. He's outrageously good. He's the best. He's the best. And no one can tell me any different, man. I tried to nitpick at anything that something he might not be bad at. Is it headering? No. Is it jumping? No. Cool. This is off the ball kind of stuff. You know, when it comes to defensive qualities, cool. Can he not shoot? No, he can shoot. He got good long ranges in him. Yeah. Can he pick out a pass? Absolutely. He can do that. Long range, short range, got that in his locker. Just let me know what he does not have at his disposal, because I'm trying to find it at this moment of time. It doesn't even like it's not even like he takes, like, when you're in a game, I'm going to try to put this down. You know how, like a Delo, he switches off, like today at Forest. Switch off. He has so many of those moments. I just don't find that with Caicedo. He never switches off. He's always alert. That's the correct word. Always alert. But yeah, he's highly and easily the man of the match for me today, innit? And no one comes even close. Actually, there's a couple players. But in the first half, you just knew where this game was going to go. You really, really do know where this game was going to go. You know, it just looked like Chelsea were on job. They had a mission, they had a plan, and they executed it. And Tottenham could not get close. I don't remember Robert Sanchez having anything really to do. There was a moment where it landed to Bentancur and his touch was that poor and he was on alert that it just didn't do much. I can't remember one instant. Do you know what I mean? This is what happens when you can't rely on set pieces and deflected shots to get over the line. It's not sustainable. And Chelsea dealt with that perfectly. And you know what? He has one good game and one horrific game. Chalobah, absolute monster. He nearly cost you guys in the end. There was one little moment at the back in the second half. But having actual centre-backs that know the role, Wesley Fofana, fucking mate. Sorry for swearing. Excuse my French. Even though Fofana's French, isn't it, right? I suppose you'd understand that. Mint. Honestly, him and Chalobah, when he's in the back line, it's just so much more progression. You move the ball forward. And you know what? It's like teams know that you can't really press him. You know, I'm not saying he's the same player that he used to be. Still very young. He suffered many, many injuries. He had a good 88 minutes in his locker today. And even the other game the other day that he played as well, before your loss, I think it was a loss or did you draw against Sunderland? Yeah, him before that game, very good as well. And it's the assurances that he brings to the team. And there's no coincidence why Chelsea got a clean sheet and they were moving the ball the way they were moving the ball. Now, I thought Achampong might have got the nod for this one with Fofana, but you know, he went for the more experienced centre-backs that's probably been in this sort of fixture before. And you got to credit Maresca, man. Honestly, you know, to be where you're at with all the injuries that, you know, that you're sustaining at the moment, you're waiting for a few players to come back. You're not really risking Lavia 90 minutes either. You know, the fact that he's put Reece James in that hole once again, swapping over Gusto, which has kind of worked this season. Yeah, and you know what? They're not recognised centre mids. I know James used to be able to do that role when he was up and coming in academy, especially. Mate, it's just it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Honestly, the versatility and execution of it all is brilliant. And you know what? For a team that's only lost one game in like their last 5 or 6 games, I don't understand. Look, you're making small steps. It might not be pretty all the time. The squad quality might not be always up there, but Maresca's showing he can coach, man. I think that's the most important part. Again, I always say, look at the upstairs before you look at the man at the head of the helm who's just doing the management coaching side of all the things. Yeah, I think he's a good manager and you've got something there. You just sometimes be patient. Not like today, I didn't get my result, but can see there's something there for now, but it might not be the answer. But with your guy, he's giving you the evidence to show that he can be in a top 4 and get you Champions League. And I think you're going to get Champions League again this year. It's about what you do next year, of course. Other players I need to say, he was brilliant. My close ones is actually Fofana, but Reece James. We're talking about best centre mid in the Premier League. There is no better right back than this man. It's so true what Chelsea fans say about Reece James. It don't matter how unfit, injured this guy is. As soon as he comes back, he's just the best. Yeah. He's got every tool in his locker as well. Again, you know, whether it was Kolo Muani today down the middle of the park or Xavi Simons trying to run at man, it does not matter. This guy has got clamps on clamps. His range of passing to alleviate pressure and put defense to attack straight away back to front. That man is it, man. He is a unit. And the fact he's staying fit, I'm loving because I really want him to play for England, especially under Tuchel as well. And he's really taken his game to a new heights. And you know what? He's been injured for so long. He just deserves this run. Today, again, he just shows why he's Chelsea and he's captain of Chelsea as well. And he's going to be your legend in the future. You know, Cobham Central, him, that right there. As long as he stays fit, Chelsea are going to be within a chance of anything just because of what he really does bring. But yeah, look, bar those 3 plays. Look, João Pedro got his goal. It's about time after how many games without even registering apparently a shot on target, not having a goal. I thought Garnacho was a little bit spicy as well. He needs to be a little bit more, what's it called, brave and confident. You know, when you're attacking a guy, and this is my problem with him when he was at United, is he slows down in moments where you're like, please just run at the man, just get in front of them. Doesn't do it enough. Neto is, you know my take on Neto. I really like it. My underrated player today is actually Gittins. That cameo was definitely something for me to think, oh, should have got a goal, didn't. With all the other chances missed as well, you know, João Pedro at the end, and, you know, even Enzo Fernandez, all these little bits and bobs, could have been really embarrassing like it was under the last time you went there with when Postecoglou decided to do that high line for life type business. But Gittins, yeah, his impact was definitely underrated and they were not having a good time. Pedro Porro was not liking that whatsoever. Brennan Johnson, even for all the tracking back he wants to do, Gittins, you cannot mark that guy. He's someone to really have a little look at, because his last few games, especially against Wolves, the goalies against Wolves, a bit of confidence. I think he's someone that's going to grow into maybe that role and maybe take that for himself. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks or so, but it's definitely worth pinpointing. Well, Enzo Fernandez in the second half was very good compared to the first. It's not as wasteful, in certain moments, drawing a lot of fouls as well. So he facilitated that midfield as much as Caicedo was, but Caicedo gave him that free role to do whatever he wanted to do. So yeah, I thought I'd just highlight that. Cucurella, just on Cucurella things. He handled Kudus very well. He's rattling the Spurs lot. They hate him over there. I can't stand him at times myself. But he done a job on Kudus today, and Kudus was very quiet. And you know what they say nowadays? You keep Kudus quiet, you keep the whole of Tottenham quiet. They got no hope. Don't matter, they bring Richarlison, Romero's, Van der Ven, what an absolute donut. But you got pressed into oblivion right there, And the fact Caicedo stayed on his feet, most players will go for goal. But his instant thought is, easy goal, tap in, you're 0-0, get your goal, you probably win. And that was the difference. Margins. But yeah, Chelsea definitely were very, very good, man. I enjoyed that performance because I don't like Spurs. Never will. I'm not an Arsenal fan or nothing like that. Just can't stand them. Chess for no reason. Pathetic bunch. But anyways, Chelsea, smash the likes. Subscribe if you're brand new. Give me your thoughts, comments, all of that good stuff. And then yeah, man, we'll see what happens next game. I don't even know who you lot have got, so let me know.